Okay, come here.
Book.
You read your book?
Book. Read the book. Daddy. Daddy.
Okay.
Daddy.
Who's that?
Mustay.
Mr. Jelly.
Mustay.
Okay. Poor Mr. Jelly was frightened of everything.
Daddy.
That's a house.
Daddy.
Door. He was frightened of everything and anything at the window, yeah. At the slightest little thing. Window. Door.
Window.
At the slightest little thing. Window, mate, yeah, window.
Window.
Yeah.
Window.
At the slightest.
Window.
Yeah, window.
Daddy, window.
Yeah, window.
Scare.
At the slightest little thing, he would quiver and tremble and shout, chimney. So it's not really surprising to find that Mr. Jelly lives as far away from anybody as he can find, in the middle of the wood, miles and miles from anywhere. This story begins one morning when Mr. Jelly was asleep. It was a beautiful autumn morning. The sun was shining, the leaves were on the trees, had turned into glorious red, and the wind stirred gently in the treetops. A single leaf fell gently from the tree, right outside Mr. Jelly's house, and quietly brushed against his window as it fell. Mr. Jelly woke with a start. "What's that terrible noise?" he cried. "Oh, heavens, the house is falling down. Oh, disaster, it's an earthquake. Oh, calamity, it's the end of the world." And he hid under his bedclothes, trembling with fright. Trembling with fright. Bed. After an hour, After an hour, which he realised that the house wasn't falling down, and there wasn't an earthquake, and the world wasn't coming to an end, Mr. Jelly peeped from under the bedclothes. "Phew," he said. "Thank goodness for that." And he got up, went downstairs to make his breakfast. He poured some cornflakes out in the bowl. Then he poured some milk on the... Oh dear. Then he poured some milk on the cornflakes. Then he went to the cupboard to get some sugar. Crackle, crackle went the cornflakes in the milk. "Oh, goodness gracious," cried Mr. Jelly. "It's breakfast. Oh dear, I hear guns. Oh, calamity, it's war." But of course it wasn't. He's stuck, yeah. And of course, Mr. Jelly eventually came out from under the table and ate up all his cornflakes. After breakfast, Mr. Jelly thought... Snake. After breakfast, Mr. Jelly thought that he'd go for a walk. He was walking through the woods which surrounded his house when a worm poked his head up from the ground. "Morning," said the worm cheerfully to Mr. Jelly. Mr. Jelly nearly jumped out of his skin. "What?" he shouted. "Who's there?" And then he saw the worm. "Oh, good heavens, it's a snake! It's a snake! Oh dear, a man-eating snake! Oh, calamity! I'm going to be eaten alive!" And he jumped into a tree. Yeah, that's Mr. Jelly. Yeah. "What a performance," commented the worm, and he went back into his snake. Yeah. After an hour, Mr. Jelly felt brave enough to climb down from the tree and continued to walk. Eventually, he came out the other side of the woods and into a field. Mr. Jelly glanced nervously around. It was an empty field.
Daddy.
It's Mr. Jelly.
Mustay.
Or was it?
Daddy.
Let's turn over the page. In the long grass in the middle of the field... Oh dear, in the middle of the grass, unseen by Mr. Jelly, was a tramp enjoying a sleep in the autumn sunshine. Mr. Jelly picked his way cautiously through the grass. The tramp, fast asleep, snored. "What was that?" shrieked Mr. Jelly. "It's a lion. I heard it growl. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh dear, mate, yeah. Oh dear, a huge lion with enormous teeth. What's he going to do? He's going to bite me in half. And he fainted. All this commotion awakened the tramp, who yawned, stretched, sat up. Oh dear, yeah, I know, mate, oh dear. And saw Mr. Jelly lying on the ground beside him. Oh dear, he said, he was a... Oh dear, he was a kindly tramp. Oh dear, and he picked up Mr. Jelly and placed him gently in the palm of his hand. Mr. Jelly came to and sat up, rubbing his eyes. Then he saw the tramp's face looking at him. Oh, disaster, he screamed. What? I know, it's Mr. Jelly. Oh no, I know, oh no. Oh, calamity, it's a giant, an ogre. Oh, gracious, he's going to have me for breakfast. My, said the tramp gently. You're a nervous chappie, aren't you? What's your name? Mr. Jelly, stammered Mr. Jelly. I used to be nervous like you, said the tramp, but I learned how not to be. Would you like me to tell you the secret? Mr. Jelly quivered and shook his head. Yes, please. It's very simple, continued the tramp. All you do is have to count to 10, and you'll find that whatever's frightening you isn't quite as frightening after all. And then he set Mr. Jelly... What's up, mate? That's a bag. Then he set Mr. Jelly gently down on the grass. Remember, he said to Mr. Jelly, count to 10, and off he went. Mr. Jelly thought it would be a good idea if he went home immediately. Back across the field he went, back to the woods. Mr. Jelly. He was walking through the woods when he stepped on a twig. Snap! Did the twig. Snap! 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 Mr. Jelly jumped twice his own height in terror. What was that? He shrieked. That was a terrible snapping noise. It's a... Mr. Jelly. Oh, calamity. It's a crocodile hiding in the bushes snapping his teeth. Oh, disaster. Then he stopped. He took a breath. 1, 2, 3. 1. 2. No, 1.
2, 5, 6, 7, 9.
Yay! Phew, he said. Mr. Jelly had almost reached his house. Mr. Jelly. Oh dear. Help, police, he screamed. I'm being kidnapped. Oh, calamity. It's ruffian with guns. They're going to... And then he stopped. He took a deep breath. 1.
1, 2,
3.
5, 6, 7.
7! And then he saw what had fallen, and it was only a leaf. Nothing but a leaf. Eyes. Eyes and mouth. It works, he said out loud. And do you know, it did work. After that moment, Mr. Jelly. After that moment, Mr. Jelly became a changed man. Well, you can see by looking at him, can't you? He never shrieks or shouts. Okay, what? Chair, yeah. He never shrieks or shouts or screams or quivers or shakes or trembles anymore. And he never hides under the bedclothes anymore. Well, not very often anyway. Finished. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Sneeze.
Sneeze.
Clever boy, you knew that was Mr. Sneeze.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
That one's Bye, Mr. Nosy.
Bye. 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 Daddy. Bye.
Bye, Mr. Jelly.
Bye. Miss. Bye. 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 Bye.
And sing a song in bed.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye. What song do you want to sing?
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye, Bye, Black Sheep. Okay.
Okay.